Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna do my ban list prediction video. I haven't done a video like this before, but I believe it's time to do also some stuff like that. You know what, we cannot just do only Blackwing stuff, man. We also gotta like have a look into this format and maybe even have some influence on it. Well, who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe this video does something. Who knows, man? Let's try it. Okay, let's do my prediction, all of that. Before I start though, I want to say, guys, it's really important. This one is really important. I'm gonna have a lot of different takes on specific cards, because if certain cards are not getting hit or banned or limited, whatever, then other cards should be hit. Yeah. So yeah, listen closely to what I'm trying to say, because yeah, otherwise you're not gonna understand this kind of list that I'm gonna show to you. Okay, so let's start with Kashtiver first. Okay, obviously everyone wants Kashtiver to get hit. Okay, my personal opinion about Kashtiver is I don't care about Arisat, I don't care about Unicorn, I don't even care about Fenrir. Okay, only thing I care about, and this is the reason why I keep losing against Kashtiver, is if they constantly start with Shifter. In my honest opinion, Shifter is the only reason why. It's not obviously the only reason, but it's like the main reason why the deck is so strong, because even if you break the board and Shifter is still live, they're gonna survive, because there's not a lot of decks that can OTK on the Shifter. Matter of fact, I don't even think there's a single one that can OTK on the Shifter. Not even Blacklist can always OTK on the Shifter, only if it have like beautiful pure hand. But usually, I don't remember last time I OTK'd Kashtiver on the Shifter. Okay, so Shifter is like a thing for me that you don't have to ban it. Okay, I'm not a fan of banning cards, but at least limit it to one. Okay, do that. This like almost as banning the card, but like I said, I'm not a big fan of banning cards. Limit the card to one, if not one, then two. Okay, but do something with this. Okay, do something with Shifter, bro. This card really gives me nightmares, bro. Even though in the Telemans form I used to play this card, right now if I'm playing against Cash, this card just really hurts. It hurts. Okay, so because I broke their board so many times, and then just because Shifter it was still live, I wasn't able to act with Shamal's effect or Vata's effect. And it's not only about Blackwing, so many other decks suffer from it. Like, they're able to break the board and then Shifter literally just decides the game. And I don't want cards to be like that. I don't want like single cards that don't even like there's nothing that you can do against Shifter. First of all, Gamma is gone. It's limited to one. So you cannot even stop Shifter. Okay, that's my biggest problem. And if you want to, yeah, okay, but let's say you don't want to hit Shifter, it's fine. If you don't want to hit Shifter, then you gotta hit something like a Rysart and ban the card completely. Okay, if you don't want to hit Shifter. Okay, like this is what I'm saying. Like you gotta listen to this whole video in order to understand this list, because right now looking at the list, it looks really weird hitting Shifter to one and banning Kashtiver Rysart. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like either hit Shifter to one and then ban and leave the rest of the Kashtiver. But if you don't want to hit Shifter, then do stuff like that. Ban a Rysart, limit Fenrir to one, and maybe even limit Birth to 2 or 1. Okay, if you don't want to hit the Shifter. Okay, I hope you guys feel what I'm trying to say over here. Okay, so if you're looking at this list, this right now looks weird, but it's either that or that. Okay, so for that. And then the next deck that really hurts me is, or like not me, maybe a lot of decks, okay, is the Noah, the Pearlies. And currently the X Pearly Noah is unlimited to 3, which is insane, because sometimes if they have a great hand, they can summon 2 of those motherfuckers, man. And trust me, you don't want to run into 2 of those, because that's a pain in the ass. So just like the same thing that they did to Kashtiver by hitting the Rysart, please limit this card to 1, okay? Because having 1 on the board is already winning the game. Okay, but 2 of them is like an even bigger pain in the ass. So please just hit this card to 1, and that's like a little step. It's not a big step. Okay, it's not gonna hit the stack like or hurt the stack at all. But just do it, just for the sake of it. Hit the Expel Noir to 1, and then Happy Memory also to 1. Okay, just do that, and then at least do it 2 or 1, something like that. Okay, that's what I'm predicting, 1 or 2. Okay, and yeah, like if you could do this would be really nice, really nice. Okay, next up we are gonna talk about Prosperity. Prosperity is a really strong card, really is, especially if like in a grind game topping this card is insane. And in general, decks that don't even rely on the X deck, they even profit out of this a lot. Okay, so Prosperity is something that a lot of people also I forgot the word, are predicting is hitting Prosperity to 1. Okay, I don't think it makes sense to hit it to 2. Either leave it at 3 or hit it at 1. Okay, but 2 doesn't really make that sense, because a lot of people, like me personally, I would even love to have it at 2, because then I don't have to think if I want to play at 3 or 2 anymore, so that makes my choices easier. So either hit it to 1 or keep it at 3. Okay, that's one thing. And then let's talk about the biscuits. People think that Lubellion should get hit. I personally don't believe that. Okay, I don't think Lubellion should be hit. Keep Lubellion at 3 where it already is. But I understand if Magnamut gets hit to 1. I do. Yeah, I understand that if that happens. That's fine. But hitting Lubellion doesn't really make sense to me personally. It's not that powerful of a card. Like the Magnamut is way stronger, especially going second. Obviously going second, going first, Lubellion is the best, but yeah, Magnamut, I can see this card being limited to 1. I can really see that. Alright, next up, what do we have? Let's talk about, I got some spice coming. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Labyrinth, man. Let's talk a little bit about Labyrinth, because this deck is also like something that is going to make big noise in the upcoming tournaments. Okay, especially since the new support. With the new support, it can now search for D-Barrier, and also D-Barrier is a card that I'm going to talk in a minute. But let's talk about Arana first. This card is insane. Okay, I don't know why this card hasn't been hit yet, but I believe it should be hit to 2 at least, 2 or 1, something like that, because like this card is really strong, especially if you start with that and a couple of welcomes, like of floodgates, whatever it is. It's really good. Okay, this card is really good. I believe it might get hit to 2. It might be. It might not be. It might be. Who knows? Could potentially happen. But that's something that I'm predicting, because it's really good. The Arana is something that's gonna make, because in the combination of, I got the other new support card, Arias. Yeah, especially with that, like it can get really annoying. Could really get annoying for us. So yeah, I would suggest to limit it to 2, man. It's not gonna do that much damage, but just do it. And then Eradicator, a card that a lot of people started to hate and wanted to get banned and all that. I don't believe it should be banned. But what I don't like is cards that can easily decide games that you just draw because it's at 3. Cards that are 3 that are like high expected to draw. For example, like it's also D-Barrier. D-Barrier is something that I'm going to talk in a minute. Like I don't like if the game is decided by who goes first in game 3. Because game 3, if I go first and I just set my Eradicator, that's something that really pisses off. If you're losing against something like that, and it really pisses off. I respect that Labyrinth can search for this card, okay, because basically that's like their combos that they do. I respect that. That's why I wouldn't say ban it. limiting it to 1 obviously isn't gonna do too much, but at least you can expect that your opponent doesn't hard draw it. Because if they hard draw the Eradicator, then it's like, again, like, fuck, man. But if they have to search it first, and you can prevent it with your hand traps, that's different. That's different. But if they hard draw it and then activate it, set it, like, it's like, bro, there's nothing I can do. And I hate games. I hate games where it's like there was nothing I could do. My opponent went first, going in game 3. Like game 3, he goes first. He draws the perfect hand where not a single hand that I could have drawn would have stopped him, which is like shit like this. That pisses off. Okay, that pisses off, and yeah, that's why I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan of banning cards, but limiting it to 1 might do something. Not gonna do too much, but it's gonna do a little bit at least. Okay, that's one thing. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is D-Barrier. D-Barrier is also like that type of card that is really like, man, I really hate it, man. I hate it because, like I said, I'm not gonna say ban D-Barrier, but limit it to 1. Because that's also like game 3, whoever goes game 3 and draws D-Barrier going first is gonna win. It's that simple. It's that simple, and that's why I believe D-Barrier should definitely get hit to 1. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I hope and I pray it does, and that's why I'm predicting it that way. But yeah, that's something that I'm really hoping for. And because, yeah, you guys have no idea, man. The last 3-4 losses I had were only because of D-Barrier in game 3, and that's not how Yu-Gi-Oh is supposed to be. Card that cannot even be stopped because Red Reboot is banned. You cannot even stop D-Barrier. That's the thing. And if you cannot stop it at all, something like D-Barrier, then it's too OP in my opinion. That's why I would say don't ban it. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of banning cards, but at least limit it to 1. Okay, so it's not that big of a chance that they actually draw it. And I respect that Labyrinth can search for those cards and then activate it, because that's their way of combo. That's what they do, man. That's just what Labyrinth does, right? So I respect that. But they're not gonna take you out of game by doing this every game, like every turn. Okay, because the card is going to be limited to 1, so they're not going to do the same combo every turn. Okay, so yeah, do this. Okay, that's fine. Next, let's talk about call buy. Currently, call buy is at 1. I believe, especially in a format where we are playing a lot of hand traps, call buy should come back to 2, man. Call buy should definitely come back to 2, and like, it's gonna make, I believe it's gonna make the game more fluent, because currently a lot of decks, they simply lose to draw, and this is something that should not happen. And the good thing about call buy is that it's not only negating the card, but it also negates the card for the other turn. So your opponent cannot, let's say for example, I call buy the draw, and if I have draw on my hand right now, I'm not gonna draw you next turn. So it's not that OP. It actually takes out the hand trap for 2 turns, which is actually good. So I like that. I really like that. So yeah, please give us call buy back. The last card that I'm going to talk about, which I want to be unbanned, is Red Reboot. Oh man, this card should have been back a long time. Ever since Labyrinth been being a pain in the ass, this card needs to come back. Especially, not only Labyrinth, bro, it's also like all those other decks. All those other decks that just activate D-Barrier and win the games. Or Eradicator and just win the games. And if, like I said, there's no out for those cards. Now we can actually prepare ourselves against cards like this by playing Red Reboot. Okay? Before that we couldn't do it. But if we unban Red Reboot, then we might be able to do it. Okay, so that's something I'm really looking forward to. Please do it. Please give us Red Reboot back. We deserve it. Really do. Especially like, okay, don't touch Ariana. If you don't want to touch Ariana, if you don't want to touch D-Berry, if you don't want to touch the Eradicator, then at least give us back the Red Reboot. Even if it's just a one-off. I respect that. Okay, I respect that. So yeah. But besides that, like I said, guys, about the Kashtiver, it's either that way or this way. Okay, it's either that or that. But if you want to keep it, then this gotta go. All of those motherfuckers gotta go. Okay. So yeah, that's just what I'm thinking. And I don't know, a lot of people want the ban to be gone for some reason, or like limited to one. I don't see a purpose for that. I really don't. So yeah, that's what I believe. Okay, that's what I think should be done. And yeah, give us those back, man. Call by and Red Reboots. Give us those cards back. Especially with cards like Call by. If with Shifter. Shifter is like at 3, then Call by needs to be at 2. And if D-Berry are not hit it, if Eradicator is not hit it, then also Red Reboot needs to come back. Okay, that's just my honest opinion. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. But that's it for me. That's it for me. I hope you like this one. If you want me to do more content like this, let me know. And that's it. Peace.